Industrialization continues to be the greatest avenue for wealth creation in modern times. It offers employment, goods and services, and determines the status of societies. However, industrialization depends on the availability of raw materials, the bulk of which is agriculture-based. One of such raw materials that supports industries is oil palm, with its major product being palm oil. The answer lies in the crops unparalleled productivity. Simply put, oil palm is the most productive oil seed per unit area in the world. A single hectare of oil palm may yield 5,000 kilograms of oil, or nearly 6,000 liters of crude, according to data from Journey to Forever. Beyond biofuel, the crop is used for a myriad of purposes, from an ingredient in food products to engine lubricants to a base for cosmetics. Palm oil is becoming an increasingly important agricultural product for tropical countries around the world, especially as crude oil prices escalate. Today, palm oil has reaped a 28% share of the total global supply and demand for the oil market. Over 26 million tons of palm oil is currently produced worldwide in tropical countries, with the number one supplier being Malaysia, that produced over 13 million tons in 2006, with an export value of $5 billion, followed by Indonesia and a raft of smaller producers. Together with soybean oil, they account for over half of all oil consumed in the world. To achieve these noble figures, a plantation must of necessity be established with improved planting materials. This is where the Oil Palm Research Institute, OPRI, of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, presents itself as an institution with a vision and a propensity to assist oil palm growers to increase their production and earnings.
Our mandate is to provide research support and technical backstopping to the oil palm and coconut crops. Within the context of our mandate, we are also supposed to provide technical services and to develop technologies that are market-driven for the sustainable production of the oil palm. We have the vision of becoming a center of excellence for oil palm and coconut research, and also to provide certified planting materials and relevant technologies in the sub-region.
Over the years, the Institute has painstakingly managed to establish a large plantation as a seed bank, out of which viable seedlings, specially prepared to fruit faster, withstand disease and pest attack, and to yield bountifully, are got for propagation. In fact, the Oil Palm Research Institute of the CSIR has a long-standing experience in oil palm planting material production.
The commercial variety which is given out to farmers to plant is the D/P seed. And this simply means a cross between a Dura and then a Piscifera. In this cross, the Dura serves as the mother palm and the pollen is obtained from the Piscifera parent. This is the recommended type for establishing commercial plantations because of the good oil-bearing characteristics of the D/P seed. After going through our progeny trials, we select the Dura parents, and then we also select the Piscifera types to be used in producing the Tenera, which is a hybrid. Presently, palm oil is the main economic product.
The oil palm naturally cross-pollinates through the actions of wind and insects. For the purpose of getting high-yielding, disease-free seedlings for plantation establishment, the Oil Palm Research Institute plant breeders carry out artificial pollination.
In artificial pollination, which is the scientific method of producing the D/P oil palm hybrid seed, insects are never allowed to come into contact with the bagged flower. To allow insects to get into the flower will defeat the whole purpose of producing 100% D/P seeds, since the source of pollen that might be carried to the flower by these insects cannot be ascertained.
The essence of oil palm production is the red oil. The Oil Palm Research Institute's major interest is to know beforehand the palm oil yield per unit of the farm. In the laboratory, further tests are carried out to find the palm oil content per bunch of the fruits brought for analysis. This ensures that farmers start with the right seedlings or materials. Depulping, that is, the removal of the mesocarps, is carried out to get the seeds for germination. CSIR OPRI has the right equipment and personnel for depulping. Oil palm seeds germinate so slowly in nature that it has become necessary to develop special methods to enhance the germination process. The process is also to ensure that the seeds have uniform germination. Most farmers prefer to buy germinated nuts and establish their own nurseries. In so doing, most farmers seek advice from CSIR OPRI officials. Germinated seedlings are nurtured in the nursery for a period before transplanting. In the nursery, researchers continue the undaunted task of managing the young plants. Farmers' own nurseries have their advantage.
If you are able to raise your own nursery, in the long run it is cheaper than buying the transplantable seedling. And then also you avoid the cost of transporting the seedlings from OPRI here to wherever your farm is.
In today's competitive world, others have challenged the OPRI. Most private sector operators have dared to import seedlings from foreign countries for distribution to farmers. With time, the difference has been clear. Those materials from the OPRI have stood the test of time and production levels have been beyond expectation. On the other hand, the imported ones have been very disappointing, leading to loss of investment and discouragement to farmers who patronize them.
Ma beniye ika enwotwe na mepese mefun mu benti mekokoto enwa no firi achimkusi isebiri bi eti radio sa abambo ndewru se wa ope abepa pedua bia no kwa achimkusi okwa achimkusi hono na benya abepa na de dua Edmonton, the Oil Palm Research Institute, OPRI. Sebri Crabeswati Cray. It can go to me and you buy 200 bunches. Which means soon as one teda.
A bit, Nibian, a home pass wompa. The Nsumiko be Christy. Nam the baby. Konya minim abena boa me papa nti sene abenisiti no ema okompa ye na wohian enkame bribia na otwumi bia minyaso aba
your research station ti ho aben so na ye collect di ho na me rakoto obi no yedidua e mbedua nso ebo e fine pa wo de ye won so a enwu wom adwene nso so de ye adwen won so a enso di wom abe we ya ba e ya be papa ya enimonyam che se ukotutu abe wa ba se a eno krenti memmo
mmeno ahore bi na mudua mo waza mututu wo nkofo wo mase debit the former state farms ana za madifi OPRI wokede na mudua na se ehwe za madifi nkofo wo menase ana former state farms na ono waso pan be bia obo anan afe enua enya bio but se ehweza yedifi kede OPRI na ono afimu na binya abe efim
abe na mundu bi na mukune do kade OPRI ne wode ho kede wode na okodua na mhu se abe na oso obo na mka chana ade no onji bi man na okaji ntima so de odua no abe no so panti go fam no go obsam na ma abe me de free na me se me de free OPRI wode ho kede wo na oso dem da na on so ba abaji bi nti wose me se mbaka achempanyfo na wanya bi na next year anwa na waji so on so waye na sadi yango so obba papa omma ngo pa na wode no wose wocha wonyango se woni abeye de na obajibi
abeno amde yedua varieties bebre wo here estate ho no eye plantation ho no ne yehun de OPRI abena yenya no in fact by 3-4 years no abeno bo otume bo ahia ho ye de compare other varieties na maintenance no so oye ya otumi ye pa OPRI abeno obohia ho na every year bia no so no edemufu a wobotum wa harvest because season bia yehun na abeno kra na ape no OPRI abena ye dua wo plantation no mo ne yekoso a yehun na ye de abewo mu a every 2 weeks agire so 3 weeks bia no yetumi ye harvesting.
It is not recommended that farmers pick seedlings growing under their plantations to go and establish new farms, because there will be what is called segregation from the seedlings that are growing under their plantations. And among these seedlings, 50% will be Tenera, 25% will be Dura, and another 25% will be Piscifera. The oil yielding capacity of the Dura is quite low. And as for the Piscifera portion, we will get virtually nothing because the female flower is infertile and so will not develop to maturity. It is the 50% Tenera portion that might give you some fruits. The oil content or the oil yield cannot be guaranteed, and then their resistance to diseases and pests can also not be guaranteed. So it is advisable that you don't use material growing under your plantations to establish new farms, but always to purchase new materials from the right source, that is the Oil Palm Research Institute.
Following this healthy development with the materials from the OPRI, the present government has initiated the President's Special Initiative on Oil Palm with OPRI as the fulcrum on which the whole project rests.
The President's Special Initiative on Oil Palm was operationalized in 2003. The Oil Palm Institute is heavily involved, and we are the pivot around which the whole program revolves. Sustainable oil palm production is a combination of two key factors. The primary one being the need for very good planting material with high genetic potential in terms of yield. And then the second one being the need for you to have a system or a process whereby this genetic potential can be expressed so that the maximum yields expected of that genetic potential can be achieved. The second component involves the management of the environment, and appropriate technologies have been developed by the Oil Palm Research Institute, agro-management, pest disease, which allow the farmer to get the maximum output from the high-yielding planting material which we have provided. It is a triangle of the PSI Secretariat, with the ends being occupied by the nursery operators, and then the other end by the farmers, and then the outgrower support units. The central point being taken by the Oil Palm Research Institute. The mandate of the Oil Palm Research Institute within the PSI Oil Palm program is to provide the germinated seed requirement of the PSI program and to translate this through best management practices at the various nursery operator levels into transplantable seedlings, which can then be used to feed the development program, PSI Oil Palm program, on the field. We also have the mandate